Today, Tuesday, December 17, in the year 2024, I want to take this opportunity for welcoming all to another edition of the government weekly press engagement. This edition likely will be the final one for the year, and the rest of it depends on the news. Obviously, it's on TV. But as a normal weekly, we call it this will be the final one before we say we take a break. So I'm going to tell you attention to one account. As usual, I want to start with the news. We start with the news. I will introduce some big news that we'll get. And then I will introduce the distinguished panelists, get a chance for talk about what we put out, and then we'll open up for questions. If you're new, I see some new things there. I want to let you know, say, if you are letting turn off your phone or turn on to silence, you know why you your phone. And yeah, the conversation will get a conversation in advance, the best interest of Sellu. The first news I want to share, this is my breaking news somewhat. Overland Airways, they expand their network with the new flights to Sellu. Overland Airways, Nigeria's longest-standing private domestic airline, will announce the launch of the new direct flight services between Lagos, Nigeria, and Freetown, Sellu. Effective Thursday, the first flight from Overland will begin to operate 3 weekly flights between Lagos, Freetown, and Lagos routes will offer connectivity, great convenience between the two sister continents. The flights from Murtala Mohammed Airport and Lagos, they come out every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. They left 2 o'clock for accommodate traveler. They will come out from Abuja and other Nigerian cities, and they will arrive at the Freetown International Airport at 3:45 p.m. on any day. This new airline will boost regional trade, tourism, and cultural exchange there between Nigeria and Sellu. So we don't promise say we change here, we will continue for expand opportunities of flights, and this is our concrete big news will be there right now. Another news, His Excellency President Leone said thank you to the European Union, the US Ambassador, the British High Commissioner, and other development partners for the role and the play for support the dialogue between the Sellu government and the main opposition or People's Congress Party. We make this in the annual European Union political partnership debates will happen every year between the European Union and the government of Sellu to talk about how we work together for peace and development and the country. Last week on the 10th of December, His Excellency President Dr. Julius Madabio embraced the annual media cocktail where the order the press set in the office. Yusuf Keketo Masami, they organize every year. President Liu will talk about his commitments to press freedom. We will listen to the final speech from the President of SLAJ, Mr. Ahmed Said Azgala, and we will praise President Liu for what we do for advanced freedom of the press and freedom of information as well. President Liu will also like it as small bits with members of the media, including the brother and sister there in our blogger. A separate meeting. I go for ABS, serious one. On the 11th and 12th of December 2024, the Ministry of Information and Civic Education hosts a historic first ever Sellu Civic Festival. 2-day event will bring together the front room of the building and inside the entire conference. We bring together over 200 ministries, departments, and agencies for tell and show the government of Sellu. The festival will also include at least 8 town hall conversations. They are attended by people from all walks of life, including school and university students. The exhibition and display will include arts, culture, and will end with 2 days unity and peace concerts with plenty by the top artists and Sellu they attend and have been part of efforts for President Leone government for really advance the message says Sellu in the country. The Honorable Vice President, Dr. Mohamed Jule Jallo, don't arrive in Abuja, Nigeria for them to take part by the 66th extraordinary session of the ECOWAS Authority Heads of States meeting. This meeting aimed to discuss pressing political and security challenges we face in the region. The Chief Minister, Dr. David Moinina Senge, don't meet with Agnes Dasiris, who are the head of investments at the U.S. Development Finance Corporation, DFC, as part of DFC the 5th anniversary celebration at Washington, D.C. During this meeting, they talked about the good relationship between Sellu and DFC will invest nearly $1 billion in Sellu in additional projects every day and in pipeline. And finally, on the 9th of December, the Ministry of Tourism and Culture engaged stakeholders at Bond in the district as part of the ongoing Tourism for All campaign for raise awareness about how Sellu and find place for visits and for encourage local tourism. Alright, that is the news we'll get for today. Now, I come to the panelists then. Just for announcing, we still expect the Minister for Foreign Affairs, Idila Wood, Idila very soon, and they will join this conversation. We can also invite somebody from civil society, Madam Valora Edwin, for them also join this conversation, but instead they receive now to the same Idila Wood. But I'm very, very pleased for welcome brother, the Inspector General of Police, William Sellu, Udinaya, for talk specifically about the festive season and security, peace and security planning for Sellu. I also get here on the left, my sister, and said, that's one good person, the Honorable Minister for Fisheries and Marine Resources, Madam Princess Duba, Bio, or Bio Duba, Bio Duba, and the sister they can talk about for the first time the plans that we're going to make for fishing business and during the festive season. It was really before the Government Security, the National Coordinator, Office of National Security, when Mr. Abdullahi Avayana Korka, and with Mr. Minister, please talk with me. And instead, they will come when we discuss more. And as you can see, we will be joined by the Honorable Minister for Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, the Honorable Alhaji Timothy Musa, I call it Musa Kata, the brother, Minister for Foreign Affairs, is here with you. Isabel is obviously you busy, but the Minister said this today. What I want to do, since the Minister and topic is pretty unique in this conversation, would you leave? I want to start. Then you just say a few things so you will catch your breath. So he would just give me a quick update on why they are today for announce something major we can fish business and this one at fishing during the festive period. So Madam Minister, we'll give you a few minutes to do that and then we will come to the Minister and the Security.
Thank you very much, my dear brother. Good afternoon. Whether they watch you at home, I say plenty I did today as the Minister of Fisheries and Marine Resources because I want for them to come they know what they do at the Fisheries Ministry. First of all, we don't try to raise awareness for the people they know say in 2025 February with the close season for the artisanal. The artisanal then we look at fishermen. For the first time in the history of Sierra Leone, with the close season. What does close season mean? We dey lock the water. We not allow any fishing activity to take place at the month of February, from the 1st of February to the 28th of February. No artisanal, local fisherman not dey go at the water for fish. We not dey do it because we want to be wicked. We dey do it because we don't find out say salon fish now we have open, and because we have open now. We want to maintain, not make sure say the fish is not done at water. We don't want to wake up one morning, we find out say fish not in. And already symptoms they don't show. First time they tin up na the fish they jump the can like food. We kick and send them back to water. Now you know they happen. If you are the way the fisherman that they use first step for go fish, when I just they know they even go far, they get the fish full up, then they know they come back, you know they happen again. They get to go far to get this fish. So we find out say people also say when they use their fishing methods there, and that make we fish then they don't at the water and stop it very difficult. So one day they use mosquito nets for go fish. When they go they gather all the small fish them, all the egg them. So you find out say they fish them, they know they grow again the way they for be. And you say way they get that fish they know they benefit you. Because when you come, now we see say people that they use water cup for measure fish, you know, fine. And that money the way you get it too small. So we find we sit down as a ministry and the scientists they tell me say, Mama, I think it will be better for long close season because not only 101 Guinea, then the close season to the artisanals. The same way Ghana them. So if all the other countries they are around me in the close season, we will find out themselves close season. So the close season in February. And when they close this season here, we not just the left hand, we left the people there. So because we know see some people there, if they don't go to the water, they don't eat. Every day they get for work and come, they sell it, they sell, or let them do for work. So we know that and that make the ministry and the government of Sierra Leone, we all know engage and say, we therefore give them an alternative livelihood. What will therefore do for them during that 1 month day? So we don't begin the bigger from the partners there for let them go help with. You know, if you don't tell people that, so when you help people, they say if you don't need a rest or you don't need a small weapon, they're not satisfied. So that they all will try for things in place. Not they just left them, they don't want to say, for the close season, not they do nothing. No, the close season, or they make sure say the people they are well taken care of, even their health issues. Most fishermen they don't get time for going to hospital. Some man they pass they sick before they go to hospital. But when they tell us, we see doctors 40. Every year, we need to go for an MOT, to go check up, or see how your body they do. Because that's the only organs, the way they work well, they don't begin to go down small. So for the first time again, we go to the community and to the fisher folks, then we do the health status. Thank God we get the hospital on wheels again at the Ministry of Health. We want to try to get that hospital on wheels for local, and then we land the sites and we say that we do the health status. And apart from that, you know, let people they sit down, they just remember say they don't close season now to get for we didn't go bring small glad at the community. Who get to get them football gala, therefore do football gala. One more for let people they know say this not to the end of the world. And I tell you by the time we close season next year, so man and they call me say, I say mommy which day you will go because one way in the way when you know to be through that too much. And apart from that, again, I just want to tell people that say, we don't go China. China don't give you the rights for exports to fish them, go China. I just want to give an update, say, we did the paperwork, and the paperwork was nearly complete. And I call it power. The beginning of 2025, we begin now to export to fish them. And another thing again, what I want to tell you, and say people that we talk about Black Johnson. Black Johnson, we don't do the implementation, how we will do the construction. The Chinese are ready, they know already they did now China for the contractor will come, for them to start this weekend. maritime. So if you don't meet back with the Chinese ambassador, if you don't tell me, say, by God in power, he say, by the end of February, early March, we will not get the contractor, we get the come from China, for can start for building here and Johnson. So all this they come up from the Ministry of Fisheries and Marine Resources, and I just want to give a teaser, say, this year we don't pass. We target what we get for raise revenue and not this year and because I still get people that they get for company, they license them till to the 31st of December. And after the 31st of December, first week in January, we will not come back. I'm going for proudly tell what I say, the Ministry of Fisheries and Marine Resources, they don't meet it and exceed the target. I tell them all plenty. God bless you.
Thank you very much, the Honorable Minister, Madam Princess Biluduba. I thank you for the updates. So the headline that next year, the fisherman can say the beginning of the day, we lock water, let the fish the rest. So we are the fish the back, they don't tire for let the fish the water. But very important, this is now part of an effort based on science, based on best practice, based on the fisherman and the agriculture as well. That's my minister I work to expand opportunities for fishermen where they will export their fish go to China, where one of the major markets there, and a part of President Leone is made for expand this country. Mr. Minister, we had a bit of best news at the country in terms of last week, I've been working with security forces that we put out a release, specifically saying, give me making money, then get a people there. I think by now up to 1,000 Sellu people left. And puts them at work, they don't tell me, they don't tell the embassy, they bring them down border, they dump them there. This issue will lead to serious diplomatic row. Now we some people can so like call them between the two countries. But I will say, you know, they on top of this situation, as the Minister for Foreign Affairs, you don't engage with Guinea, and you don't need to some actions and that on this side. I will tell you do now, let me give you updates on the relationship between Sellu and Guinea. On that development that will happen, and what team will do when we will restore diplomatic, normal, dignified relationship between we, country, and the sister country, we are Guinea. Over to you, Mr. Minister.
Thank you so very much, Mr. Chairman, Minister of Information, for the opportunity for attending this conference today from the Chairman Governor from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. On a more serious note, as you state, this is a very serious matter. From us, I've been at the first step this video, I was to, if I'm not learn from it, because we get Boku. But what is happening between Sierra Leone and Guinea? Now, an incident where they persistently shows with very close neighbor. The neighbor we surround really by over 40% of the geography. They at times act in a fashion way, non-neighborly, when you would doubt whether or not they really value and respect the relationship of that. But in any case, Guinea remains for being one of the strongest bilateral partners. Bilateral partners in the sense that trade, investment, intercultural, intercultural ties between Guinea and Sierra Leone. And it is so, now we don't get any intercultural tie with any other nation in the world, which Guinea. Mr. President, so today by origin, I am a Fulamandingo, and I'm also a product of Guinea. Mr. President also, even IGP is also, if you check, Sellu Masala. It's not easy, man. So, there's anytime where something that happens between two brothers, it's worrisome. It's worrisome because the relationship, they go back since the discovery of the two countries, since we get them individual names as Sierra Leone and Guinea. So we don't see this aggression, not from what happened in Venezuela. We're all aware of what's happened in Akana on the street. after the conflict in 2001. The Guinean forces that were in Ghana had their way on the invite of President Jean Kaba and in agreement with President Nansen Conte. They refused to vote. In fact, they have intensified their aggression by way of having boots on the ground, who suddenly train Guinean members of the Guinean armed recruits of the Guinean armed forces. This year, the population in that part of the country became very, very much troubled. And so, His Excellency the President dispatched me for going out group and for going to the situation, where I told the Guineans that that was aggression. And Sierra Leone today, regardless the size of the economy or the size of the government, we're a very powerful nation to the international space. And as we get plenty fora for take on Guinea, but we try to explore and exploit all the available diplomatic means that we follow to resolve the problem. And so, on the 10th of this month, I got a distress call from the ambassador of Sierra Leone to Guinea that it just online say 2 trucks will loaded with Sierra Leoneans. They don't pull them from Guinea for repatriate them forcefully to Sierra Leone. So the security forces and everybody will say, no, we will not allow for me to bring in people to Sierra Leone without identification and without the proper diplomatic measures, where and established measures if people don't get citizens that want to alien citizens in the country and they demand say for security and other issues they need for repatriating people they do and in the fullest cooperation of the country of origin of their alien immigrants and of their foreigners and they. But this was not the case. What they did in Guinea, they just go raid a particular area where they have been a so-called slum area where they infested with crime and drugs and all of these things. Of course, a sovereign state, whatever they want to do, their own internal security, it is at their gift to do that, but without violating the rights of other citizens who live in the country. So what do we learn from both the reports that came from my embassy and from a note verbal that was sent later by the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Guinea and Guineans overseas, now that the country will do a all-round, all-round mopping up operation for clean out areas where there's a suspected crime makers, they dwell unabated. So when they go, they meet up, so they meet different foreigners in the Ghanaians, people from West Africa, including the Guineans. So what they then do on diplomatically, they say they go imprison the other nationals. And because of the relationship between Sierra Leone and Guinea, they take away citizens there without due process and bring them at the border. So we stopped that until an emergency meeting was held. And I tell the ambassador, say, if I go back currently and meet the foreign minister of Guinea and tell us that we would not accept the people that don't bring at the border because we know if not Sierra Leoneans or not Sierra Leoneans. So they go into a meeting where they started, first by apologizing. They say the action not be intended for be a forceful deportation. But because of the relationship with Sierra Leone and Guinea get, I make them give it preference, say enough for imprison Sierra Leoneans, then to bring them back home. But even though they say the intention was good, but the act itself is barbaric, the act is not proper in the context of diplomacy. But however, communicating further with the authorities, then stall the process of rounding up citizens of Sierra Leone and sending them border. Because we don't make a strong protest against them, say, in diplomacy, we get to see the called reciprocity. Everywhere in the world, when they see, say, countries, most countries, and they send back the ambassador and some members of diplomatic corps within that embassy, we know one thing. And they also call in diplomatic language, personnel non grata. They ask the host nation why they send diplomats back. So the way the sending country can respond, they can choose for reciprocate instead of decide for send some other diplomats in. It's a cold war. So you get that reciprocity in action in diplomacy and in governance. This country, the government of this country bears the solemn responsibility for protect the territorial integrity of this country and the rights of its citizens, regardless whose side they be. And if somebody get up in the morning and round up the citizens and bring them out water and say, we're not going to our country, that is very unfriendly. And I think waiting the government of Sierra Leone try for doing that, for protest against the Kenyan government, say that is not friendly and it's not brotherly. We all know inside West Africa, people they live along everywhere within West Africa, yeah, many times undocumented, but under the ECOWAS protocol. Even though the ECOWAS protocol is also very clear that when they go to another ECOWAS country, if you do so with documents, then you get the right to stay for 90 days. But we know so we are human beings. Like I said when I started, I say we get cultural interconnectivities. We connected in several ways. So therefore, as a way of diplomatic action, we said one thing, making say the respectability of this country is at stake. And we said they're right for even expelling an ambassador out of the country. But the wisdom of the president, the wisdom of the leadership of the government, decides to engage in diplomatically. And I want to make this audience know today, the Ghanaians are responding positively. They have acknowledged the action was not right. They will tender an apology to the ambassador. Both the judicial authority will get the responsibility for being raped. And as a matter of fact, in fact, the foreign minister and some other people in the camp right now, as we are special envoy of President General Mamadi Doumbouya for casting His Excellency the President for left a diplomatic message to the President. We will protect Sierra Leoneans anywhere they be in this world because it is a solid responsibility of the government of Sierra Leone for protest. Now I also speak to what is going on in terms of tribal sensitivity with some actions that have been taken or that have been taken in Sierra Leone. I'm here speaking on behalf of the President categorically that the President of this country, President Julius Malema, not give anybody instruction for go hold any particular set of people. Neither did he give instruction to anybody saying that for go round up Guineans them or send them because Guinea don't send the citizens there. We get the diplomatic means for explore and exploit. Anybody who angry, the way in which they treat Sierra Leoneans and that. But because we are diplomats then, we will keep the anger and treat things for the relationship to continue. Because I'm afraid if we did so until the vice president of this country and this as the driver of the bus, made the day apprentice, Siba said the day apprentice. But we're there in a point where the president of this country is ready for solve this problem diplomatically, and even beyond this waiting to happen. Now, in fact, it also took up more enthusiasm for not engage now thoroughly and effectively on the Indian issue. So we wait for many foreign ministers to have the message from the president of Guinea. So anybody will not be affected by some actions that have been taken on behalf of the president and the government of Sierra Leone. As Minister of Foreign Affairs, I want to say the government will not discriminate amongst its citizens. And if anybody feels that say they have been slighted and profiled, then they feel Allah will be happy. Even they tell me that about yesterday, but in any case, we are in a very critical time in this country where we need for holiness together, where we need for embrace yourself. Now that's the SFPP government stand for, and that's President you stand for. And make us say they come from the press conference. Make us say the raiding, they don't stop again. They are not continuing the process anymore, and we don't tell us if they do one more thing of such, we will reciprocate. We will take action where we strain the relationship. But that not happen because Guinea are one of the best neighbors of Sierra Leone. We get a long tie, we get a fine relationship, we people then connected on both sides of the divide, and we're ready for the peace reign of sovereignty and for the economic development today. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Minister for Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation. As usual, you don't comprehensively address the issue of the relationship between Salome and Guinea, and the headline that the steps away you don't take under the instructions of His Excellency don't lead to the Guinean high power delegation in our room now. I think we will come this press conference, we will go together, we'll go attend and welcome this delegation here for good meet with President Julius Malaki. At the end of the day, the cabinet minister said, Guinea, I can tell people and say, we don't like that distinction. We come from Fulamande, Nina Fulaman, the Grandpa, and Guinea Commons. I really apologize for that. Nina Sierra Leone, I really apologize for that. The Grandpa Commons and Alabama, I really apologize for that. But nobody knows Sierra Leone past me. Every other ethnic group there, I can't come. Plenty of ethnic group they will salute for the man and come before them. This is now one country with all our people. President Leone, whoever supports the discrimination is any ethnic group. And then the president will appoint the most inclusive cabinet in the history of this country. Mr. Minister just talk about your background, my own background. We get plenty other ministers there. In fact, if you go across that cabinet, it's full of minorities. Because Sellu, the big pass we all, and I forget all. Then I come to the head of National Security, Mr. Abdullah Walker. I wanted to talk about the state of security coming into this festive period. And also, I wanted to also go on small on this Guinea Sellu situation. And I think we should address the question of arrest. We also have plenty as well on social media, whether they are not. I think it's very clear. Foreign Affairs Minister will talk on for government when it comes to issues dealing with the relationship with other countries. So, Mr. Coker, I want to give you also 6 minutes for you to address this issue, and then we will come to the respected Honorable Inspector General of Police. All right.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I greet you all, welcome everybody here. The topic, I will talk about the security status in the festive season. At the beginning of the festive season, we all understand a season where people they come out far and wide for come meet their families, their loved ones, their friends, so many can enjoy. Festive season, people that they really enjoy because a season landing where people they don't think I don't see. The last time they get the cannibals then, they get the so married, some they get the other activities. So one thing, program and activity for the festive period because it's memorable, so that it will always be celebrated during that time. However, the festive season it also comes with challenges, such as that period time delay where you will get confrontation from people then, especially when somebody don't drink. You will get confrontation from friends in the gathering, social clubs, and several of them competitions will take place during the festive season. And it is within the same period, this festive season, that we get a lot of accidents, road accidents. Some man, they drive recklessly. Some man, we don't drink, they drive, they will cause accident. For example, or kill people. So, the festive season, now a period where everybody will remember at the end of the year, the work going on for the whole year, and say this time here, they can relax, they can get few time to be safe, let me say enjoy. Sometimes you do it in groups, families, or you might get other groups. That's the period when everybody they really think they will come together. But as a sector, as a security sector, each time we get festive period, we develop plans. We develop an operational plan. The primary force system, we develop an operational plan. We don't manage the Office of National Security. Now for coordinate the entire security of Israel. And because of that, each time we get down to that period here, we ask them to develop their plan, which plan they get for the city. So in this plan can meet up the last year, November, we will all together. Unfortunately, this is this country here. We will get set of people there. We think they will take the law into their hand and stabilize the state. So in fact, the plan when we develop, we don't only develop enough for the festive season. The plan was developed based on that thing when it happened. Because who are here for social media? 24th, the guy again. And they all over. We can't report, we can't do anything. So, as a sector, we don't prepare ourselves. We prepare ourselves before that time, based on the plan. And along the line, why should we plan ourselves? We increase posture everywhere, but in a concealed form. Ladies and gentlemen, but very concealed. For able to respond to anything when we think will come. During that process, moving, I think we also carry out those operations based on credible intelligence. And I think based on the intelligence bits, to be able to track down two of the fugitives will be have on themselves no matter who. Alright? So in the process of trying to handle them, then the food security forces went into shooting and they lost their lives. So just after that, we intelligence service say, Waterloo, that the place where it don't become very, very troublesome in terms of harboring criminals. Because all of the things that did happen when it starts from when it starts from Waterloo. That is some of the criminals they hide. Then it's a more offense where they hide in Kenneth and the scam, all over the West African country, they come on a travel scheme. We don't arrest a good number of them in this country. To tell them we can arrest 50, 100, 150 Guineans, more of them, Guineans, some of them are Malians. But each time we arrest them, we had a dignified way of treating them with the appropriate embassy. The embassy, the terrorists say, when I bring them at a certain location, they bring bosses there, they put inside, they can go. Now, a crime they don't commit crime, but because of the bilateral relationship to we and Guinea, we get for do that, but we don't sign a lot of MOUs in terms of collaboration between we and Guinea. And therefore, it was on us for making it in a dignified manner. So we together, and they don't have over 5, 8 to 9 times. All the arrested people there, all the guys on the society, we together in the camp. We don't catapult in the camp. Then they call me in the camp. I say, how do I deal with? We got to you can't go back now. In a dignified manner. That's we have been. So during this period in our operational plan, we say we need to carry out colonial search. Now what happened? Because from other sources they only get, we don't get information. We don't bring ammunition in this country here. And when they bring it down, we don't send the goalkeeper. Using the sea fronts also. They go and say they do that. We don't begin the sea front issue over 3 months ago. 3 months ago, we hold meeting about. We hold meeting na ya. We said na hold meeting. Na anywhere. For them to clear out the seafront. And we begin deploying with Sudan in the seafront. Because if we talk permanent meeting, we can't meet permanent meeting. Because they deal with fishing. So we don't do deployment. Now most of the seafronts, we don't, but we don't try for destroying any shanty house. We got a plenty. If you go to Bombay, go to the or they see, but they become the bomb, not do that. All right, because we believe in getting information and credible intelligence. That will be one problem. And because we get credible intelligence, we always respond appropriately to that credible intelligence. And that is what we actually do. We carry out funding aside. And we're able to stop pocketing in our water. In fact, that's the first phase of the economic attack. Because the economic attack is going to continue. In the one, the chain will come, and they will also continue within the Western economy. Now, by intelligence, this will be doing it. Well, we think so we have criminals, we have people that win and gather, we have people that win and they do some things. Like 2 weeks back, we discovered now Eastern, Allentown, the Kush lab, the biggest lab that is conducted in the Kush, we discovered with all the items and the number of Kush near the school, primary school. So when this team have hold on do all of this, whilst we are doing this raids on our corner side, of course, now we get this unfortunate news from Guinea. For saying they bring people. All right. When we get down, hurriedly, we got ourselves as a sector. We decided to say, let us not wait for anything. Let us go there and now Balamuya and try for support them, because as a government, as a sector, we for care for people, and therefore the security sector will go Balamuya. The Syrians are going to use opportunity for saying very big thank you to the ID and the Syrians, because immediately the ID and the Syrians then provide 4 trucks each, with their good feeling for 10 people for carry go down various places. And what do we do? We establish registration camp. When we establish registration camp, we make sure say everybody wake up, we register with this aggregated figure. We get figure there where all sides where they call it the country, from Kono, Kedima, Kailan, Bo, Ujon, Muamba, up to the western cover. People that go in, we get the figure there. And we get the total number of women and total number of man. Everything is recorded here. Alright. We make sure say that trucks and within a few days they traverse for where people they go. They tell people they go. We say them come out. And we make sure say we go drop them, we say they come out. They get we come back to take them. And that we do all over up till Sunday. We did that. We get them up and say to them very well. So they were all very out. And thus, I think the people there, when they bring it up, they don't tell them, say, when they bring it up, don't go back on that dream. But the salmon and destroy, they say, don't want to go there again, the slums. But if you're able to go back, once you get place for living, you go there. So the unfortunate, when the security sector, they plan operation, when people in the thing say, they target a particular tribe, that's very unfortunate for us in this country. The Fulans are almost like the third largest tribe in this country. They are part of the How can anybody who get the right sense target the Fulan? It's unfortunate. When we the people, they think about anything again. We don't target, we don't target Fulans. May God forbid. Alright? But they really, we get people that won't get old. We want people that don't get themselves. We have 80 foreigners when they get them. When they get them, what come they get them? These are Zimbabweans, Malawians, Angolans. They are here, 80 of them. They say they do unidentified. We have them doing this paper. It's a wide way. But people, they don't make this construct the whole time because maybe they were, which are with a whole one or two people, they say they are targeting Fulani. That can never be done in Sierra Leone. Nobody would do that in Sierra Leone for seeing they target Fulani. Even these people wait, they send to us back. The largest number is coming from Kenya. The second largest is coming from Moloko. They did this randomly without looking at it, try looking at it. They just did it randomly. So it's really unfortunate when people go with the problem. And for us, our job as a security sector is to ensure that this country is stable and peaceful, so that all of you go about doing your normal business. Today is peaceful. That's why we're all here. And nobody has to. If it's not peaceful, nobody has to take this way. And that's just what we want to do. We want to make sure safe. We make this country peaceful and stable. So the calling on site we are doing is not limited to one location. It's all over. But in the process, people they don't take it out of context to say they target Fulani. We have Fulani in our government. How can we target Fulani when we have Fulani in our government? That's never possible. We are targeting criminals. We are targeting drug dealers, and we are targeting those foreigners whether they obey the law. In this country, there is a constitution. You must obey the law. And when you obey the law, you are the friend of the security forces. Once you obey the law, especially at a time like this, this is why. Now, we don't make sure say we don't install CCTV all over, even at 38, by 38. Normally, we don't install CCTV there. This junction there, Bookfish, we don't install CCTV. So that all of those things, what people do, they go scot-free. They will never go scot-free again from the security sector.
Okay, sir. So,
Thank you very much.
thank you very much. And the Office of National Security Chief and the National Security Coordinator at the country. All national security issues and they coordinate. Now we come to the Honorable Inspector General of Police, Mr. William Sellu. I think sometimes IG, when things like this happen, we only call you. And then sometimes it's a question of not what the order was, but it's a question of how that order may be interpreted by the people that know they implement the order. But I want to focus again on inside the NS Code talk about the state of security to assure people, every Sierra Leonean, about which we are looking for good security in place. But I think say it only fair because I can see some of the family there and I can ask you a question. For later, and I guess the same issue with NS Code, I guess about the implementation of this order and whether it targets any very specific group as well.
Thank you, John. Good afternoon, everyone. Well, on the relationship issue, I think the Minister of Foreign Affairs and the Adjutant of Justice we have this is also affected. Check the background. We know about legal documents. It's public and private. So that is the and news analysis. But you have for us, we mentioned a couple of things from the security point of view. The NS Code don't highlight most of them. For we, each time we Ghana was government talking about it, just what do we do on a daily basis now? Now we talk for us this particular period. It has been a difficult time 3 years back. Me coming as a things are really very difficult. We are the most impactful no high blood pressure like a big. People like prayer, they go through. So for we, I'm sure to see the other stuff. Go enhance the violence and without Joe, for example, abuse and classified information. We don't do that. We don't do potential mapping of gray areas. We do that day after the 2022 August 10 demonstration to get some place level of mark as there are gray areas for us. There are areas with very liable for less spontaneous violence breaking. So those ones they are covered. In addition, we get a department like Department of Community Relations. We do a lot of community engagements. Go out, we get the educated team, public address system, go out to communities, we carry different sorts of messages and legislation reform. Recently, we talk about prohibition of child marriage, we talk about the way they keep people at the post time way, they don't even plan for them, large numbers of people, the PNS policy. Several times, we do raids on communities, freedom and upcountry in the interest of the name of QNet. We see lots and lots of people coming from outside Sweden. Once, now at Sellu, I will get opportunity for one compound where we get over 113 millions. I work with Mr. Fufana and the Guinea Embassy. He put them on buses. Recently, 34 millions and they go to Mr. Fufana. So those agreements, we do them and we get a very cordial relationship with the Guinea Embassy in terms of that one. Just last week, I had a new Guinea ambassador over at the office. Tomorrow, the Nigerian ambassador will become high commissioner of Embassy because I get over 20 Nigerians who will have a custody as a result of them Sellu project. And I released to them recently another 34 people inside the country to get a good number of them really around. We get Chinese, really from Emma, we can get Zimbabweans, and Kenyans, all of that. So we do that. Then of course, some the limit one project and the desk and chef, where they call Smart City Project. The Smart City Project, now the idea really come from His Excellency for put freedom under close surveillance. But for a long time, it not be work. We don't think about the way NSC as of now, we don't deploy 36 cameras across the city, different locations. We monitor them from a particular time. We monitor them from Kingston to get the joint operation center, we also keep everyone today. Then of course, we also don't make use of some technology, keeping in line with His Excellency's technology and innovation game changing. So they use drones most of the time. We fly them day and night. We know what will happen because we have to know the concern for the waterfront. So we get intelligence in the one pass from team for power and side. So all those ones are covered day and night. And of course, we get Windows system, we monitor the system. So we have tracking system, we have GPS. Every police must go with us any every day, we will use our day. And then the app and the phone, slots, any visual slot, and no side particular patrol must be done enhance visibility and response time to incidents where they happen across the board. Then of course, the call and search operations continue. That we will not start at no to yesterday. It's been there for the past 3-4 weeks. Not to say we stop that one day because the information will come. What we need to enjoy, at least for now, and the fact that the members of the public, when they get information about what will happen, they pass on it. Each time when they send messages and phone, people that they are attack, you will see plenty. They need to talk to yourself. We'll also have to you, about for response. If I don't respond to our so we'll be sent to her and not respond. That's what I do. Your phone, you know the box. I don't turn off for nobody. Any message you can, I'll look up, I'll read them, I'll respond to her. So from the security point of view, I have to use this moment to assure every seminar that last year we holiday was interrupted, but this time we don't put it under control. We don't put acts together. We are going to have a very peaceful, very quiet holiday season. Few weeks ago, somebody called for the status as yes. When I think that, what happened last year, I know what happened again. So So security is for make sure everybody go about to know our business. Also to know more connect to increase the profile because the issue of this country, waiting at the happen and letting it happen. So that's heighten the security profile, enhance the presence at different points for us to build. So basically from your side, let's consult that.
Thank you very much, Inspector General of Police. The security of the states and alert the IGOs don't say they don't attack any ethnic group, and that not to their intent, not to their mission, and that the operation they undertake are broad-based operations. The other important headline no one forgets now that as far as the security of this country is concerned for this festive period, the IG they assure we see things in the under control, and that they're confident that nobody will be interrupted on the day. They also don't take it to the general public because security and the public need to. When you see something, you say something. We call the security forces. Before we open for the public, I want to come to the civil society activist, Madam Bano, I have been with you today. So let me just comment on everything we do here as well, on state of security, particularly at the currently now, as we get into the festive period, and as a human rights activist as well.
Thank you very much. Every time, Mr. Minister, you give the civil society the short time and you say, we'll let talk. But I think from waiting along gather, one of the good things about this forum is it provides information to the public on waiting government in steps. And one of the things then about good governance is about how you have strong institutions, functional institutions that the public can trust. So even when the IG, they say people in the send to them, and I think I want to commend you, sir, because a lot of public officials, like they send a message, they don't respond. So one of the things when they build public trust, it's about how those who are in authority will for make the decision, you have access to them, and then you can see, say, that they're able for action on the information when you provide for them, because that is very important. We get a lot of shakings, for over a period of time. I also serve as a civil society representative in the Peace Commission, in the board of the Peace Commission. And I think say one of we all want the whole thing is giving recommendations to government, but also looking at the triggers to conflict and unrest. So whilst the security apparatus then when they do the fire brigade approach, we they look at the underlying. So NS called they mentioned about like Waterloo and certain areas where they don't find out for conflict areas, where they go deeper. Why? Why this particular area they get so much reports about issues, whether it's about kush, whether it's about juju, whether it's about killings of people, we they look deeper. Something the way they trigger and government institutions they need for response. Is it the issue around unemployment? Is it the issue about exclusion? Is it the issue about people are not visiting, their voices are being heard, or lack of participation? Or is it that people are not just state institutions? When anything and people get the perception, whether for whatever reason, it can be triggers them for unrest, it can be triggers for conflict. So it good that to not get this forum for let the state institution they're able for come for explain what they do. And not only waiting and they do, but that waiting we the public can do for ensure security. And one of the main things is having access. If people then sit down in public office, you are there to serve the people. The person will call you and they call you for bingo. He call you, you know they pick up the phone. Then send message to you, you know they respond. It's a big issue. I also want briefly comment maybe I would say the posture of the government with regards to the issue of Guinea, because recently notice say every now and then there is an issue happening in Guinea to Sierra Leoneans. I'm not saying Sierra Leoneans are the best people, but with the sort of big border wall, you don't see how we close with Guinea. We also can get concerned that every now and then they round up with people there. Me say don't get a very bad experience while traveling in Guinea. And then they talk Creole, but they were so very, very hostile. So it also, because I've also participated in ECOWAS conversation, and when they talk about free movement, and so it is something at the security level, it will find for discourse. If they sign up, Guinea they sign up to free movement. They're not for the persecute Sierra Leoneans there. Harass me when will they travel within their country? It means so bad. One of the officers said, "You woman, you come here." At first I look at because I was so shocked. That is not how you treat people. If you get for search, you get for candle, that is not an issue. But you do it in a respectful manner. And they know something as Sierra Leoneans, and then they talk Creole, but they treated us so badly. So you will find, as we don't really say there's a delegation coming, outside this present thing where they happen, we also therefore discuss why as Sierra Leoneans constantly being treated in that manner when we go through Guinea, when we are staying in Guinea. And it started even from the conflict. Waiting happened there. And we've always appreciated Guinea because we don't say now when they born Cambia, now Cambia get relief when they rebel and they don't see on. So we've always been appreciative of waiting Guinea done for we. And I can't really explain, we all have brother and sister. We all the mingle, I'm not saying here with Jesus, if my family come out Guinea something, and let them put them when they take them. But at least we know say we get party them, we get neighbors, we get people that all they interact with, wake up, come out from that side. So coming back home, it goes that at the security level, even as they respond, we also look at the other issue that we can also spark up. We see the level of Mamiko's business, we don't rampant in this country. When you discontent with person, you go on social media, you curse him a man. When you get clever with people, that's an insult. It shows that the country don't lost value. We have to be respectful, and there are more women than men. We have to respect women good like that. We also therefore look at issues of unemployment. When they talk about the push, when they talk about the people there, where they do the mixing of the push, not there for target, not only people there where they smoke. Why are so many young people, they're not only young people, they were unemployed. You don't go to a government office, a government policy, they almost say for don't come on Nigeria. So you don't go say that way in our job, you almost say for don't Nigeria because they don't push. So we have to look at the underlying thing. Why people in the physical push now the best way for hope. And the best way for address them now for cut off the source. We also look at the small community issue. Because now they when small TV it is spark off. Why when you go now to place like Lonely Beach now, the amount of beggars, it is so unsafe. When you sit down there, you know they feel comfortable. The amount of beggars, the amount of boys that were on drugs, and that is supposed to be a tourist area. As with security people, they mention people and they come for holiday. Not because anybody get money. You know, someone when I'm from February, March, they don't buy tickets for camp. So also say that money get because it's cheaper then. People then come for camp, relax, you just want to watch sunset, enjoy yourself. But there are so many beggars. They are on drugs and they own weapons and they own net and they own this and that. These are the things we have to look at. Why then build so much? You get a slum. You cannot have a slum close to a tourist area, outside hotel, and they fall in at the car. Big events that they happen. You have a whole slum community under. So once you look at what you will say, the effects, the issues the way they happen, there are other governance issues where the states need for address. So let me get the level of security we require.
Thank you very much, Madam Valora Edwin. And I want to tell you thank you as well for who you always show up and represent. Today you show up late, that's true. I do my best for give as much time as possible. It's not an official government press briefing, but we get the kind of perspective who somebody like you did provide. Because President Leone lives in an inclusive government. I mean, no big people that we know like Sky say, make the turn off, then phone them. Now we can open up for questions. So, the rules, first I read the question that we don't come online, ask, and then when I read in the room, I will get on chance for us. You will know there, I will let you understand what we will do when I am. The panel, I don't know what a superstar I am. Nobody knows the kind of star. Okay? The superstar and the panelists. So if you give the mic, you state your name, your affiliation, and you ask the question. If you begin explaining, begin giving preface, and I cut him off. And I'm not going to make no exception of that. Panelists, about 30 questions will come online. Now, the commitments where I typically get is that I will ask all questions when they come online. But today, I therefore pick the people who don't send the question and they make some exception. Because most of the questions, they actually summarize them. Many of the questions then, now why the police target fuller people there? We do it then media. Many of the questions then say now fuller people are no more. They ask for ID cards. See, somebody they ask me why we not put press release for condemn the action. Yeah. Somebody they ask me if we no get ID card, why IG for target time? Somebody they ask, I think some of the questions we don't answer them. Somebody they ask if one is surface what he called fuller phobia. Somebody they ask again, what in government they do for put a stop to this issue. Somebody they ask what we do for regarding the impasse between Sellu and Guinea. Some of them questions I will not already answer them. They plenty about hyacinth fuller, targeting fuller. Same. Can't any other tribe prove themselves? Where people in Leone can say. Okay. I think almost all the questions we can say sentiments. I think the panel don't address some of them, most of these sentiments already. So they are open with one already I am. And then I will take a few questions. Okay, so I want to see the hand already on first. I go around and pick, and then they come to answer. So I will start on this side. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and then at the back here number 5. So we done here 5, and then we come over here 5. Number 1.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alright, now so we didn't ask the question, so from a block we will not see, please. Yes.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you so much. Not only fullers you pinpoint.
Now joke, by the way, not doing that. It was joking.
But my name Sheriff Elongima Botima Tefu Yaman Bari. Yes, on a very serious note, this is a link in question. We get a lead from the Minister of Foreign Affairs, and they talk about reciprocity. So in that regard, the police reciprocated by targeting only fullers. 90% of the police stations that we visit as the Deputy National Secretary General of the FPU, we are fullers. Not Malingos, Mamadi Kumbi and Malingo. Not the tribesmen of IG, fire Sellu, the cases. So why always fuller when there is a trouble in Guinea? Thank you.
Thank you. Now make something. Thank you very much, Sharif. If another rule now, if they don't ask you question, save we don't ask the same question. So there, we get plenty of people here. Pass this in a new topic you want to bring down or new information, or Sharif don't ask the question, or I think see plenty of we can want ask. Sharif don't talk. So if you want, if it's the same thing, don't just let them answer. Now this man will be number 2. Yes, sir. Can you read number 3, sir? After him.
He's waived this.
You don't waive the motion. Go ahead. Thank you.
Very much, Minister, the senior member, Barrister and Solicitor of the High Court of Sellu, and the admin secretary, FP Western here. I just want to add certain facts then to basing this Barrister state. So, firstly, what happened in Guinea was a disgrace. I personally, condemn that. And the National Coordinator of ONS, I also appreciate you because for life to sleep in the net peacefully, somebody like you need to do a job and ensure that we are secure in this country. However, what I want to bring to you are facts, and these are not controversial facts. You are aware of a raid we happened specifically in Texaco. Arrests were made. And according to a report by the SNBC Morning Coffee Show, and listening to that report, people were arrested, and in that process, somebody presented ID saying Hassan Jawara. He had a passport on him. He was released. There were other people arrested in that moment who had passports as well, but they were foolers and they were not released on the spot. They were taken to Toku, detained again in Toku. So the question is it a coincidence that over 90% of the people arrested were fuller, and even those who were fullers with IDs were not released? So we will need to tell me if this is really not targeting.
Thank you very much. Number 2. Okay, we're gonna be number 3. So the person will be point us number 4. Yes.
Assalamu alaikum. Mina Alhaji Mohammed Bayo, the official presidential spokesman to the president of the Fuller Progressive Union. I know both side me colleagues and go. But my question they go to all at the table. Me, I want to know waiting na the reason and who that give this instruction for target the Fuller one day. Waiting at the end. We want to know. Thank you.
All right, the gentleman at the back. Well, wait. Let I will point somebody after I am walk out to because you are the only woman on this side. So give the mic to the gentleman at the back. I may not already point though. We get ruled now, yeah? If I don't point fine and I will know the way by. I don't say we are possible when they come to you. Okay. Yes.
Good afternoon, sir.
Go ahead.
My name is Nabil Obari. Good afternoon, sir. My name is Nabil Obari from Falaba District, Financial Secretary under the Fuller Travel Head, Falaba District. My concern that the arrest will happen. Most of we travel around the world, Europe and Africa and America. But they know the target is tribe. When they say reading, it can be for everybody. And the second question, we get a rubber then. We cannot put begin then they are lungi on a QNet. But I don't know what I want to hear about that. We Falaba alone will get up to 20 beginning. When they kidnap, then they would then would ask for help.
And kidnap Pekin, you see?
Yes, them picking when they say that they have to go Europe. Then they pay money to them. They hold them on ransom, and they ask for more money. And the livelihood international phone number, why they are getting it?
Thank you.
We ask for help.
Thank you very much. I want to give this lady the last chance on this side.
Jamaat Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Mina Madam Hawakam Jalo, the coordinator for the Fuller Women in Sierra Leone under the chieftaincy. I want to know who say we the biological citizen of Sierra Leone, the Fuller, the who say we go wrong for being citizen and we own biological country. We get the Fuller them from Senegal, they normally deport them in Guinea. We get Fuller them from Gambia, Nairobi, Niger, all over the world, where they na Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala na create them, na belong na a country. So who say we the Fuller them now from Sierra Leone, don't be get wrong. We want to make IG explain to it today exactly what is the security for we the Fuller them na Sierra Leone.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, ask the mic now.
Thank you. Don't ask the question.
All right, listen. Everybody listen. Okay? We don't get 5 comments and questions. Somebody don't ask a legitimate question. Why I don't limit the questions to just journalists? I don't. We put out a public code. We put out a public toll-free text line. We ask all the people at the Ministry for Information and Civic Education. I always encourage ordinary citizens with questions to submit them. I'm not changing because today they are. We all are the same citizens. We don't ask 5 on this side, and they count on this side, we'll get most of the journalists there, and they all will ask a question there, and they will respond. So we'll come on this side now. Let me see the hands that are up. Okay? Good. Nice. Obviously, I will start with Ulogo as the senior journalist radio on this side. I will start with my brother, number 2. I want to see the lady, number 3. The lady, not a journalist. So, number 4, Naya. And then, journalist number 5. So, 2 ladies, starting with Ulogo. Wait, we always ask questions. Go ahead.
Thank you very much, Mr. Minister. First, a quick observation. Can I suggest that maybe the government needs to engage the Fuller community in a town hall meeting?
We have been doing that.
For you read them regarding the situation with happened in Sierra Leone vis-a-vis Guineans. My question, shortly before I came out earlier this morning, I called the Inspector General of Police who is here because I'm doing a story and I want to get the number of Guineans arrested or foreigners arrested in Sierra Leone in the last few days. The exact words were, no arrests have been made. And the ONS personnel in his statements make an obviously some arrests were made. So for clarity, I want to know exactly if any foreigners have been arrested in Sierra Leone in the last few days following the events in Guinea. If so, how many of them? That is one. The other question is, Mr. Foreign Minister, the counterpart they come from Guinea, do we know how many members become a delegation? Then tell me exactly why they become. I asked because you mentioned the issue of Yenga as well, which get me both confused and interested. Because I've been visiting the guy exclusively for what's happened in the last few days. Me come on Guinea yesterday. And I've got to say as a Sierra Leonean that what I see on social media is not representative of what's in our witness in Guinea. I've been at the embassy on Saturday. I met dozens of Sierra Leoneans with today, and they were processed by the Sierra Leone embassy. We tell them for relocating other parts of Conakry and not the slums. Agreeing that truckloads of some Sierra Leoneans have been taken to the border and sent across for Ghana, Sierra Leone. But I also know at the embassy where those other Sierra Leoneans were when they go to other parts of Guinea who said they go for reside. Not then tell them say don't go to the slums, go to other areas. Thank you.
Thank you very much. In fact, Then we'll respond. We will respond. So let me go. Who that number 2? Yes, sir. No, this man.
I'm sorry to say I'm right for concordance. Mr. Minister of Foreign Affairs, now we get diplomatic relationship with the Guinean government. Waiting at the level of communication. The level of communication. We need to the NSO, when I get an operation, we will arrest a series of foreigners. Is it a random operation or a planned operation? Whether it is planned, we are going in connection to Guinea, we go on to do the same thing.
Good afternoon. We have an analyst at the report for affiliate. The question goes to the Minister of Fisheries. So last week we do a story for the fishermen, and one of the things that we then say is that the challenges that we face now is climate change. So as a ministry, what can they do for educate the fishermen on climate change where it not going to affect their livelihood? Thank you.
What's your name?
Thank you.
Good afternoon. Leone address from CNN newspaper. I want to ask the question for them to amend the way they don't arrest. If any solution for them, how the government get for deal with the one they will arrest the flag for waiting they don't know about. And for we this Saloma and Macquarie say them waiting at Guinea. How the government understands saying that video where they show now old video we don't pass. So why can count new other one in the way we say now old video we don't pass for no for count corruption and so and they pay 3 hours and left the flag.
Alright, and the last question is, and then we'll get a response. Come forward to that.
The question will go to question and suggestion. The civil society woman talk on the build and the tourism area, which of course is small. And that's small that we get what we call mango or what's another they call it. And I did the fishing to lead, I did the travel of fishing. Waiting the fishing come they don't do, or the ministry don't do for when they build within that particular small area for make we get fishing, the cow the Christ and fisherman will far. Then also I want to send this message to the IG. Recently we get KK right now, they talk on Myanmar and I asked a question on Myanmar, and I'm going back. Recently for do check. Indeed, they don't like Myanmar, they don't like Myanmar. But I'm getting an error with policing within the second toll gate. Immediately as you pass the second toll gate, I don't know. The soldier is well disciplined on that side. But the police gets a little bit of error. More one day we tired and no. They tired child. I'm saying we're not serious.
Alright, okay. Get to the question. Is there a question there?
Yes, sir.
What's the question?
The thing is,
why the police check? Alright. I tell you now what thank you for the question they want to ask. Now we get some important questions. The way they do about this is we start again with fisheries. You get 2 split questions. Then we come to Foreign Affairs Minister. Then we go to IG. We come to ONS. And then there's the civil society will comment. This press conference, because we get more panelists than normal, always we do all the way up to 4 o'clock. Right. I keep on a question on my answer and short in whatever way. Yes.
Thank you, Honorable Siba, and I just want to tell Ms. Sister we asked this question a big thank you. Definitely climate change a big problem for we fishermen. You know, say climate change not only just Salon, all over the world, things like they really change. Places that they way if it cold, if they become warmer. The same thing with we coastal lines and now we find that in some places they like Solima, they're not able for fish then they fish for 6 months and then the rest of the other 6 months they're not able for fish because of the weather, because of what they happen, they're not able for and they can the way they use, they're not too strong enough for let them go out for go fish. So you find that the climate change is one of the biggest problems the world they get. Even during the rains, we able to forget a lot of seaweeds the way come at the shore. And during that time, we boats they don't be able to catch fish. When you put to let, most of the things the way they get are seaweeds them. So things that really change. The temperature of the water again, they find out it become warmer. So when it warm too much, the fish then they run away, then they go look for side where it cold. But what they do now, they work collaboratively with the Ministry of Environment. We then they deal with climate change. And that makes you find out you got a lot of COP27, you know, they go for them, and then the world will sit down and talk about this issue with climate change. Because that thing we will say not able for cooperate. The only thing is you want to prepare for it. We get places like the place they don't go now where they find out the rain they come. Places anyway, a lot of rain they come where people they don't able for settle, they therefore move. So all of these things they are as a ministry we try to put things in place. How we will for move them people they are during the rainy season. Because some man they are during the dry summer and they live in the area. When rain they come out they move. So what's in the alternative livelihoods, how we will for make sure say then people they are able to do what they for do. So most times we say okay, during that time they wanna move, come like other places, they wanna go able for the selfish. Now we for do other work that go apart from the fish work like they do. So that then really government don't sit down and make sure say this not to tell them what we for sit down and turn a blind eye. We for sit down and talk to the partners. And we get a lot of partners that they work along with somebody talk about the mangrove, whether they work along the mangrove because the mangrove now it gets carbon credits. Mangrove don't turn to thing where people they make money out of it. And a day we oysters and a day they will fish themselves where they want, where they get better, and a day they go rest, or let them pond them begin them. So no one let people that begin they cut them mangroves. And so we really desensitize the people that they are along that coastal line for letting them not cut mangroves there because and them mangroves and they use for who smoke them fish. Because we use the mangrove, it take a lot of time for them to bond. So most times the fish are box that they use. So what we try for do is not talk to partners the way they come, but see how best and we will forgive them. Some people that they give them even stove, but let them not use the mangroves that let them cook. Because now they anything that they people that they use for sell. So those are the things that we look at. We government set from Bhutan, and we partners them, save the children, they said they don't come on board for let them work. We get a lot of organizations and there's another organization they call Space. They don't come in for let them go for help or get an alternative livelihood for the people who already live in the coastal area because most times they are being deprived. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Minister. Mr. Minister, you had a few questions about the relationship with Guinea, level of communication, what would they expect, and also you also want to reaffirm the points where what I will make about the reality in Guinea is different from what's reporting on social media, and also you get this week share with me just before we start, and also comment on that. And then Umo will make the question concerning the purpose of the visit of the Guinean authority, not just tied to this day, but also you mentioned the younger issue. So I think there were a few, related questions as well on that day. So just comments on those.
Yeah, thank you very much. And when I say a special envoy when it comes to the Minister of Foreign Affairs, a special envoy comes with a special message to the President of the country. So the content of that message, I don't know. So that's the aspect. I am guesstimating that the protest Olympics and the apologies to the authorities in Guinea don't be. I only expect, say, that foreign minister they bring a message from the president, very reconciliatory, very apologetic. So we can seize the opportunity because I will be having a press conference with the foreign minister after the tete-a-tete meeting with His Excellency the President. During that press conference, I invite the media for kind to our press conference. I will tell you the time. And I really tell you the time. And now I come to the other question. Hello, Ima, Bati, Lomoni, Namuova, and all of that. Me, Biron, okay? So, in Sierra Leone, we not entertain Madingo Fula rivalry. The Bobiwa Sok and Fula Muslim. The first word I hear for talk, and Nene. So nobody will take that away from me. I'm addressing the question with me, dear Uncle Calvin. In fact, incidentally, the Mama said, my uncle was very emphatic, saying, "Do not arrest my woman, do not arrest my neighbor." This country, we really talk about tribe. If we talk about tribe, we all know how we got this country. But most importantly, they will respect the diversity. The level and extent to which people want to sentimentalize what they have to say is unacceptable. It's unacceptable because if they say that they round up for a man in this country based on tribal profiling, the mama will inside that box where you go. If you don't have Sierra Leonean, now you born, now you end, now you go school, now you know for being home. So that's inconsequential Guinean rivalry between Madibo and Fula. It has no place in Sierra Leone. I can always tell a story. I can always tell an anecdote to them and Mumande. I say when Manigoma get money, they marry Fula also. So we are the product of Manigoma when they get money, and Fula also will fine. So please, I want to put that into rest. Madibo Fula rivalry, you know, have no place inside Sierra Leone. I cried overnight. So this minister shared with me a message. As they read the message, and they cried. Nobody really cried. The day when President Leone made me Minister of Mines in this country, between me and the president inside the room, I cried. Why I cried? Because my daddy in the 1980s, now some of you, I mean, Madingo tribal head. When they Madingo money, they come to illicit mining on Nico, as by law, they're not for them at Tongo, only they run out of the Baba in the house and they go. As a child, I grew up dreading the morbid fear that the next day they will arrest me on account of tribesmen there where they can seek refuge and in their vehicles. The president, I told him, I said, now you don't give me the opportunity. As a son of an illiterate Madingo tribal head, you don't give me the opportunity for being Minister of Mines in this country. I was in the room when the decision was made that we must respond to Guinea because of Peter Adamo. But that message was never a tribal profiling message. For give message and for implement message are two different things. Nobody in this country, you cannot have the vice president of this country was sitting in that room. You cannot have the vice president and me and other people in this country and President Leone in this country. Where we say we are going out for it's unfortunate. We don't see what put in. When I talked to one of my grandfather yesterday, you know what he told me? He said, Mama Musa, he said, it reminds me of the 70s. What happened in this country? So we get an allergy to profiling. But at the people now, this is not anything where they profile. Because honestly, if we go into tribal profiling, who will help in this country? Nobody will help in this country. The intention is also, and they say this, maybe I'm not for service in camera. When I became foreign minister, the first place where I go, like Guinea, on the Iyenga issue. What did then Guinea man tell me? When I came back, I met with some members of the security force. I said, Guinea, don't watch Guinea. We don't like what is happening in Guinea. We observe them because we know once they tribal things then lead to a whole sub-regional conflagration. So please, let me not bring that element of Madibo mandate and Sierra Leone. Now, once I don't we get a vice president where we belong to the Fula tribe. No ministers and now they belong to the Fula tribe. Me, the Bobby was shocked. Now, Fula Bobby. I will not be part of anybody where they profile tribe in this country. But it is not the case. Because we cannot take the statistics. Somebody said all the stations away would have come under arrest. That is not true. You cannot pambulate the city and go to all the police stations. Whilst it is painful because it gets historical remembrance. In the 1970s, Statistics in this country connive with Secretary for taking people there for go Guinea. In fact, that is why some of the barrier they all to the call too. They will say that's not without action. Even bad action get good consequences. In 24th century, nobody would dare to profile anybody based on the trial. Me once my people fuller. At the top, they want me. I go school until they land, they talk to me. I will never be part of any conspiracy when they profile somebody in this country. So I'm coming to the issue. The gentleman asked about communication. In fact, yesterday, from when it happened, are they in constant communication with the Fuller tribal head? Are they in constant communication with the vice president? Are they in constant communication with the president of the republic? Are they in constant communication with the minister of foreign affairs of Guinea? According to us, exactly what we brought up in the press release that came from the Sierra Leone embassy in Guinea on the 12th of December, it was stated clearly that the video where they make rounds where they say that they lynch Sierra Leoneans, not so true. Now, all video, in fact, where it not happen around the central Eastern Africa, because in Lingala, the people in the top. So, what's happening again? Even what's happening again, what we condemn, now the manner in which they bring with citizens in. But every country gets in rights for pull trade and for send people in the one. The word reciprocity is not equivalent to holding of land. It means diplomatic action for telling the other person to say, you shall maintain national integrity and respectability. Online while carrying to the Kaaba, I will not be part of any concussion we will provide not to man, not to man in this country.
Sometimes people are coming from the since our process. On the question of targeting, nobody was targeted. Like I tell you, we have no reason we cannot target anybody, nobody was targeted. So the question of who made for us was alright. Nobody was targeted. What are they?
IG man just ask one clarification question. Just so you could give me an update on the number of people that let's say Umo will not be framing question directly, but now since you don't ask the question about number of people detained in the past 2 days, you get a number of people that are arrested and detained. Okay. The IG say not get the number. That's fine. ONS, you have a comment on the question there? Please now stop the movements. We want for listen. These are people in Ghana, they answer the question, the law still sound the law, we wrap up and the other one will go. Go ahead.
I think I did not answer the question already. The question where I was saying everybody is very comfortable. Whether they target Fulani. But I will tell you that categorically, nobody not target Fulani. Even the
Yeah, we listen, only don't agree the mind to self talk. Not the Allah, only people that they talk. Yeah, and the baby.
The brother had asked one question, he said, now share company. Now share company. You can take 2-3 balls in a day. They get a good and listen. I think they cannot constitute targeting Fullers. You know, cannot constitute targeting Fullers. Let us just give an example. The security operation, but people don't know because what you will do in our operation, the things that already unfold. For instance, there is a law in this country for say, if you want to demonstrate, you therefore go to the IG to take permission to get an interview. Now, most of the people when one for demonstrate, when they go to the IG will tell them, okay, I will give you permission but can't sign this. But put in a minute, put in that when you do that, you don't sign to her. So, like, when you follow the job, when we do security operations, it's bad. The question of saying the target specific But how can we, the students, how can we really target a particular tribe as a sector? We'll get all of the enemies that they want plus when they're part of the security sector. Then we sit on the table, they deal and say, we're going to arrest somebody, we're going to arrest Fulani. It's not possible. It's not possible. And people then sometimes one will use, so they go to the ask at their own advantage. But for us in the security sector, we remain resolute for make sure say happy. When you talk say a happy that it is fine in a group, a human business. It appreciate the security sector. And that is what I think say we will get from everybody. Because if today when they come in the house in Canada, when I go back, nobody will touch you. If you appreciate say the security sector is at work. Now people beginning, they don't sleep for guidance. For the money, what do they will do? For them to provide against the environment, for them business happen. So now appreciate that. It's small things that happen. Whenever we begin to like say, they target Fulamania. The security sector in no way no target Fulamania. It's one country. How to one second right?
I don't know, there was no question directed at you, but I wanted to just comment a few minutes and then we'll wrap up.
There's always an expression when they say you need to read the room. So we don't get the assurance from the security sector, but I think say it needs a deeper dive, because if there is a perception and people they don't give concrete examples of what they have seen or heard, there needs to be a deeper dive or look at the operational level what's actually going on. Because there is no way in this room alone, maybe you know say social media can do anything, but in this room alone, very responsible people that always, what I would say are very valid concerns. So waiting for being the move for the security sector is to go and see what's happening at the operational level.
Alright, okay.
It's about the fishing part of it. And my recommendation, Madam Minister, is to have an interaction with the Ministry of Land. Because waiting there is not just that we own a market and fish is so expensive. And the reason being, if you look at the Atlantic bypass, if you look at, like I said, to the beach, these are just a few examples. All the mangroves don't go because Ministry of Lands don't allow people then for bill and then area they need. If you look at behind Cochrane, in fact it's a whole security risk. All the slum, all the mangroves don't go. Look at Congo. It's also a security issue. The mangrove, they already don't go. So we don't get the kind of fish we're supposed to get. Juba Beach. I've lived at Juba Hills from around 1988, 86, 87. You they pass there, you see fish then they. People then they go fishing at Juba Beach. Then you can't look that they don't backfill and people then they don't building. And everybody they pass by and they see. So if we really serious about addressing climate change, about ensuring that people then they go to markets and the basic food, we talk about malnutrition, even for Pikine, the fish is good protein, we talk about oysters and all that thing. If we really committed to it, let me ensure say we not allow structures, human activity in all those areas where they affect how the fish and those marine life that we need for ensuring we all get a balanced diet, it will be affected. Because if we talk about model in us one, it shows that there is no commitment at that operational level.
Thank you. Alright, so we don't get some concrete points there. Mr. Pupada say for those of the Fula community, I want to make you say we don't get multiple engagements at different levels with the leadership of the Fula community. Me, a member of the National Advisory Council for the Fula Progressive Union, and that's what Minister before I told Minister I don't connect of the Fula Progressive Union. The Honorable Vice President, obviously, they will get leaders in our community where they will only engage. What's clear from the conversation, like I say, there's a difference between perception and fact. But in comes, we say perception is reality. What I perceive na reality. So if I perceive say something they be, whether it be or not, na reality. So what we will commit to doing as a government, now that we will change that perception in the engagement, in the action across the rest of government. Also one day that perception they will change, but I think say in the concrete action and the engagement they will not come for to the family where they are. I think I join with what Timothy for saying. Anybody will feel hot and slighted, we sorry, we beg. If you feel that with you, no security person, no grab, nobody, no give anybody instructions say go attack for a man. Nobody, no give any instructions say go hold for a man. But clearly, like perception that they will the RSD. So, we want for big planning for that and commit say we will do the best for make sure say that reality day as well change. Since the minister, the boss say you know to stop security obviously of course even we the people all Saloma Wale security operation continue. We just want to live in a country where we will say if you are your all treated the same and that nobody will feel see your own people there, in your own clan, in your own ethnic group, in your own community, in your neighborhood. Because it's not supposed one level say is subjected to any unfair treatment. Me, President Leo, and the Cabinet Minister say, I'm not saying you know give that kind of instruction to everybody for do. Because the Minister of Foreign Affairs gave another press conference where I don't go back by now, I want to ask that we put this one now to an end. If anybody gets any pressing question, we want to ask for follow-up. You want them we a journalist in a yard, and then the contact, the IG, and no see busy, but I'm very responsive, don't talk. We will follow up on any question they need. And only the journalist, I will sooner or later in Foreign Affairs, we will call now for the second press conference for today. We will focus on the Guinea Salon relationship, hopefully with the Minister of Foreign Affairs. Until next week, Assalamu alaikum.